Yo, what is up, guys? Vince from SDFC Bros coming back at you with another video. This might be a surprise to you. We got a special guest. Carlos is a no-show. He's a frosted flake. He's over there in Mexico. So I got my brother, Nino. Nino, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Happy to be on the channel
Yeah, you're the first guest.
Yeah.
You're the first guest for SDFC Bros. So guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Get involved in the comment section below, and make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at SDFC Bros. So let's just get into the game. Nino, yesterday was your first San Diego FC game ever. So kind of just walk us through like kind of what you were feeling and kind of what vibes were like going to the stadium and going to like tailgates and stuff.
Yeah, as we were walking, we just hopped off the trolley. We just see a bunch of fans in like the parking lot area, and it was hyped. The food that they were making for the tailgate smelled really good. People were just happy to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
And finally hype a sports team that we haven't had here in a while.
Yeah, like compared it to like a Padres game, like you kind of see like everyone like behind this one crest, and it's kind of unique because it's like we saw like San Diego FC literally be built from the ground up. So it's like it's kind of unique how it's like we're seeing the start of it. So I think that's like something that I think brings San Diego together as a whole too. So I thought that was like super cool. So yeah, so going like into the stadium and stuff like that, seeing like the pre-match kind of ceremony and stuff. What'd you kind of think about that?
That was cool. They actually did a lot. So right before they did the national anthem, fireworks, all these just different effects that they did on the field. It was really well done.
Yeah.
You know, they brought like Manny Machado.
Yeah, you saw the Padres out there.
Joe Musgrove. That was cool, you know, just to see other like big San Diego guys. Of course, you know, not soccer, but for our baseball team, just for them to be there. It's like, you know what I mean? Just get, you know,
it's like everyone comes together.
Yeah, we're like it doesn't matter what sport, we're still in the same town.
Yeah, you know? And then I saw like FaZe Rug, he was there. I see like a couple other like influencers that were there. So it's like literally everyone's like behind this team, which is super cool. So. Enough chit chat. Let's go straight into the game. So obviously, San Diego FC tied 1-1 to Columbus Crew, and the lineup was similar formation, 4-3-3, but we saw two new starting debuts with Luca Bambino, our boy, our Italian stallion, and Willy Kumado got his first start as well. So I had a lot of praise in Bambino in the last video because it's like, you know, when you're that age, he's super raw and super kind of new to the scene at that point, never playing a professional game like that ever, you know, and he really stepped up in the last game versus Real Salt Lake. And in this one, he got the start because of how well he played in around like 30 minutes or so in that game versus RSL. And I mean, in this game, I thought he played actually pretty well too. So then Kumado as well, I thought he had a really big impact. Of course, he got the winning assist for Anders Dreyer in the last game. And my whole thing was, it's like, I think this was kind of more tactical than like a physical change because you saw San Diego play a lot more wide. And I think Bambino and Kumado are definitely wide fullbacks, right? Because they were just bombing up and down that left-hand and right-hand side, while Lawfulsen and Negri are definitely more inverted fullbacks. They're going to attack the, you know, the inverted spaces, making not overlapping runs, but inverted runs because of, I think, our lack of width that we had in this game, I feel like. So that's kind of how I thought it was more tactically. I think, you know, we were just thinking more of like, okay, let's stretch out Columbus. Let's see if we can, you know, catch him out of position. So I think that was kind of the tactical mindset of Mikey Varas. So the first half was definitely very one-sided, I feel like, for Columbus's favor, in my opinion, because you saw them, they had a majority share of possession. They definitely had a lot more threatening opportunities in our goal, and they definitely prepared this game well, and they showed their experience. And especially, they took the lead in the first half. So what was your kind of thoughts and opinions leading up to that first Columbus goal?
Columbus scored 12 minutes in. That should kind of just show, hey, where are we at defensively right now? Right. You never want to concede early. I mean, it happens, don't get me wrong. Right. But watching it, the highlights and how they scored 12 minutes, he was not marking his man. What was the name of the defender?
Verskov.
Yeah, he just completely just mismarked.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens,
Right.
especially but when it's that early in the game, you need to start thinking like, hey, we can't let this stuff happen.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
definitely. I think, that was kind of something I think that caught me by surprise, especially how early it was.
Yeah.
And this was the second ever goal San Diego FC has conceded. Just to kind of, put into perspective, our first goal was against RSL, and we were once again down in this game as well versus Columbus Crew. So
Right.
my whole thing is it's like we knew in this game that Columbus Crew was a high intensity opponent. We knew the quality going in, and they are no pushover team whatsoever. I said that they're the best team in the East, right? Even though they didn't, win, the Eastern Conference last year, I still think they are a massive juggernaut in that conference. And I mean, I think it really showed their experience. They showed their quality. And Wilfred Nancy, Columbus coach, he really prepared for this game well. And I think he definitely, put his players in the right positions to succeed, because there was at times where, they kind of caught us off, guard at some points, and they had to force some saves out of CJ Dos Santos, which I thought he had a lot of really big saves in this game too. So I think we kind of just need to be a little bit more aware of who's running into the box, and kind of maybe that communication aspect of it needs to be a little bit more kind of, more solid, I think. But I think one of the main talking points from this season and, from San Diego was the condition of the pitch. This pitch looked awful. Like in real life, the condition of the pitch was awful. I mean, on TV, you couldn't really tell, but in real life, you just see patches all over. You see, mud start coming up. So it's like, I don't know if that kind of played a part in it, to be honest. What do you think about the pitch?
Like, I paid like $92 for, third row,
Right.
high up seating. That's a decent amount of money for tickets. So like, I want the field and just the overall presentation to be worth it.
Right.
For admission. And it just felt like, oh, this looked like a baseball field last week.
Yeah.
We have the women's team this week. So I get it. Like, a lot of different teams use the field, but there's got to be, like, even if you just paint over it, like a green, you know what I mean? I don't care if the field's not naturally green, just paint it, make it look good.
No,
man.
I hear it. Yeah, that was definitely, like, I think a huge concern for, like, San Diego fans, because it's like, later in the year in August, you're going to have San Diego or SDSU football play on that pitch. And then it's like, I feel like this field is going to be something. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a big discussion, because it's like, I don't want to see this pitch like having like, like patches and whatnot. Like, I want this pitch to be as best condition possible to play on, because it's like, that is definitely going to take a toll on like how the season goes and how we play football going forward. So pitch aside, that first half chance from Anders Dreyer, I think we had a lot of chances in the first half. We had that Dreyer chance, like I was saying, and then the McNair offside goal, which bit questionable, but if you kind of look at the replay and everything like that, he is offside at the end of the day. So what do you think about Dreyer's first chance? Do you think he maybe should have passed? Do you think he should have shot? What do you think?
Oh, right. Just go for goal. This guy is probably our best goal scorer right now.
3 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, he's just like hesitating, looking. I can kind of see, that angle to where he could have passed it in the middle, but dude, just take a shot.
Yeah.
You're already that close, and by the time he just stumbled over it, the keeper's gonna save it.
Yeah,
you're giving the keeper too much time.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, I think the Columbus keeper had a really good game. He was putting a lot of big saves in. I mean, we'll get to a couple of those chances later, but I think we've seen Dreyer a lot of these times maybe overthink certain times. And I mean, the goals that he scored were all like first time chances, right? Where he just hits it with that first touch.
Okay.
So it's like, for me, it's like Dreyer is really good in like the clutch moments, whereas it's like when you need him to finish, right? In those like dire situations, he's going to put it away. So it's like, ironically enough, I feel like when he has too much time to think about the goal, he just doesn't put away his chance, which is interesting. But it's like football kind of works in like that weird way where it's like, when you kind of have too much time to think, it could maybe do like a disservice to you. So I don't know, maybe, that's something. I definitely think he should have shot a lot earlier, because you see when he makes that run into the box, he maybe has like 2 more touches before he actually takes the shot. I think within like that first or second touch, you got to go for goal because it's like Dreyer has a lot of confidence. He kind of, has that, I hate this word. He has that aura about him where it's he has that confidence about him.
He knows, he's like, give me the ball and I'll do it.
I mean, hands down, he's at the moment our most lethal attacker. He's our most, goal threat going forward, especially without Chucky.
Chucky was supposed to be that target man. That's why we picked him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and there's been a lot of topic of discussion. Me and Carlos off camera, we kind of talk about, how is like Chucky gonna like get into this team? But it's like respectfully, it's
he's gonna have to fight for it again.
No, because it's like Chucky for me. It's like he's our most creative attacker, and I think he's definitely the attacker with obviously the most overall experience. I mean, like he's played at top level in Europe. Obviously, we know him very well at Napoli, in that Scudetto run when they won and everything like that. So it's like Chucky has a lot of experience, and that's what he can bring to this San Diego team. And it's like, respectfully, I don't think that he's worse than Tomas Angal. Respectfully.
And then the other guy on the left.
You have Tomas Angal, who is on the left, and then Boateng as well could play left winger as well. So I think, respectfully, once Chucky is fit, he's gonna slot into this team like a glove. Respectfully, so. And then the McNair goal that was offside. I think there was a lot of question marks going on in the stadium. Obviously that would have been the first goal that San Diego score at the home stadium. And for me, I thought it was onside though. Especially like when you're there at the game, we're like, what the hell? Why is it offside? And then they don't even check VAR, right?
They didn't for that one, no.
It's like, that's why I was a little shocked, because it's like, it was a close call.
It was.
So it's like, I guess, I can maybe tip my hat to the linesman for getting that right. But at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't hurt to check. But I mean, they got the call right, which I guess is fine at the end of the day. But I think
offsides is offsides, but
right, it's very black and white. I think that goal though, I think it was a sign of good things to come, because San Diego is definitely starting to gain a lot of momentum at the end of that first half, right? So it's like, and I think that carried into the second half too. So what'd you kind of think of like San Diego's like chance creation overall in the first half and kind of towards the tail end?
Chance creation, we could have done more. Especially in the first half. I felt like we were kind of backpedaling a bit.
Yeah.
Just absorbing, because like you told me, their style of play is counter.
Right, yeah, definitely
so
counter.
I'm not, I'm a Juventus fan over in the Serie A.
The complete opposite.
Which is completely different, but that's a different style. You know what I mean?
Like different conversation.
Different conversation, but they press. You know what I mean? So
right.
It is kind of weird seeing like your team not press.
Right, yeah, definitely.
They kind of just wait. So I kind of like it. It's a different approach. There's no right or wrong.
Sure.
So seeing them kind of wait and absorb that pressure and then hit them on the counter.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah, it's definitely a very entertaining style of play, and it's I've definitely like come to grow on it, because it's like, I don't like when we have the ball at the back and then you start to see Columbus pressing, and then all of a sudden, boom, we beat the press, and bing bang boom, we're in the final third. So it's like
just like a
like a simple 3-4 passes, and we're already in the final third. So
I do like that.
To your credit, how you were saying,
but to go back to the first half, right? Before we finish off first half.
Yeah, go ahead.
The amount of over the tops.
Yeah.
It's when do you like say, hey, let's work it this way?
Sure. Yeah,
well, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, the over the top through balls were definitely getting a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie, just because it's like they kept happening and Dreyer kept being offside. So I think that was the
and
big topic.
And it was always like fractions off.
Right. Yeah. It's not like it was miles off. Right. It was definitely very close.
It's just how many times? Okay, get the ball through ball to Dreyer.
Right. I think it was good delivery and good execution, but I think the timing was just the thing that was off. I think
that's it.
It could go into our favor, and definitely in the second half, and we'll move on to the second half right now. You definitely saw San Diego play into that a little bit, because you saw them, play those over the top through balls, and you definitely saw, Columbus kind of struggle with that, and that kind of leads onto the red card that we got. And I mean, the second half we played a lot better. We created loads of chances, and that red card was, I think, a result of one of those over the top through balls, or just a direct, line driven pass through.
Yeah, because he got past that last defender.
Right, and then he pulls him down.
He had to get pulled down.
Yeah. 100% a red
If
card.
that was not a red card,
yeah, you're asking a lot of questions.
I would have left the stadium.
Yeah, I'm asking a lot of questions if this wasn't a red card.
Because he was last.
Last defender, last man, and everything like that. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper.
I wish it would have been a penalty, but it was just.
Yeah, it was just outside the box, which is definitely unfortunate. I think, because to be honest, I don't know who would have taken the penalty. To be honest, I don't know who our penalty taker is. Probably Dreyer. Definitely Dreyer for sure.
Put ice cream on it.
Yeah, put a little ice cream on it. But yeah, red card definitely changed the game. But for me, I did not like this referee at all. Like, yeah, I know, they got a red card, but I feel like, San Diego got 12 fouls with 1 yellow. But I feel like a lot of these fouls were just like stupid little, like either pushes or, either we're being slightly aggressive. But for me, I want the game to flow. Like, I want this game to just constantly keep going.
The ref didn't really allow play on.
Didn't allow play on. I feel like the game couldn't be aggressive because it's like, I feel like every single foul, the game stopped. And I feel like that really, doesn't play into our favor because San Diego's a very aggressive team.
That one Columbus guy that he like laid on the ground.
Yeah, man.
And then he just got back up.
I was over these Columbus laws.
I get it. It happens in soccer. That's something that we're known for, like fake fouling and diving. But dude, he saw the ref and then he just got up right away.
It's like just the constant stop and start. It was really annoying. And Columbus definitely, they were taking the piss out of the ref. That's how I was seeing it.
They were taking advantage.
And I was getting annoyed. In our home. And then, when they scored the goal, one of the Columbus play, he goes up to the fans and he does one of these. So it's like, I feel like,
there was like 7 Columbus guys out there.
Yeah, there was like 4 Columbus fans in the whole stadium. So it's like, that's a conversation for a different rainy day. But I wanted to talk about the header, the goal from Valakari where we got the equalizer. And what I really like about Valakari is his impact in these games. In the last game versus Real Salt Lake, he got an assist, and then in this game he got a goal. So a goal and an assist in his last 2 games, that's pretty good. And he's a great impact player off of the bench.
Yeah.
So it's like I really like Valakari in these last couple games. I think he's definitely one to kind of look at, if I'm Mikey Vadas, to be like, okay, maybe I can give this guy a shot over a Luca Della Torre, even though Della Torre got the assist for the header. What'd you think of Valakari coming in as a sub, and do you think he can maybe make a push into that starting 11, or do you think the midfield is just too good?
He's definitely got a spot, because think about it, we're this young of a team and lineups are changing.
Yeah.
It's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
he's got it.
Yeah, I think he has that kind of IQ to get in the right spaces at the right time. And I mean, that pass in the last game versus RSL, that was something that was, I think, kind of eye-opening to me, because it's like, I wasn't really sure about Valakari going in, but against Galaxy, I thought he was really good. Against RSL, he was really good. And then, in this game, he gets a goal. So it's like, he's definitely a player that really knows the system. He knows the right places to be. So I really like Valakari. I'm really high on him, coming off of the bench. I just think our midfield of Della Torre, Zverskov, and Godoy, I think they're just too solid of a group of a midfield three.
Our number 7 in that game.
Yeah, Ingvartsen.
I don't think he really did much.
He did get injured. He got pulled off at halftime.
Okay. Was it confirmed injury or
not really sure? News hasn't really come out yet. But guys, if you want to stay up to date on everything San Diego FC, follow us on Instagram at SDFC, bro. So So I think the longer the game went on, I really thought SD were gonna push on and get that game winner. But what do you think of the missed chances by Maitin and then the other Dreyer offside goal?
Yeah, it was just unlucky, man.
With the Maitin goal, what'd you kind of think about that?
Was that the one that was close, but they didn't check VAR?
No, it was the one where Maitin and I think Dreyer were kind of going towards the same ball.
Yeah. Miscommunication.
Yeah.
You got the striker and, they're both guys on the same team making that same run.
What did you think of Maitin? This was Maitin's first game, right? So he came off of the bench. He came in for Ingvartsen.
So he clearly knows what space to take.
Right.
I think that's, you know what I mean? But, of course, Dreyer, he's going to be like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Sure.
I'm supposed to get the ball here.
Right.
But it's an easy fix.
Right. Respectfully, I think, you kind of give your teammate kind of the benefit of the doubt to finish that chance, because the goalkeeper made a great save, to be completely honest.
Either way, Columbus
Columbus goalkeeper, he was on something. he was on something. You got to test his piss for that one. Because he was making save after save, keeping Columbus in the game, especially towards the later stages of the match.
Yeah, there was like another like own goal attempt that he saved as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. I think it was like a header, like, from like the opposition or something.
Could have easily been an own goal,
almost
but
an own goal.
He saw it and then made the reaction.
Yeah, good reaction. So I'll tip my hat to the Columbus keeper. He actually played a really good game. But yeah, I mean, I really thought that Maicon was going to put that away, but I was really impressed with his debut. This was his first game. I know there was a lot of question marks on where his level was at and kind of where he would fit in this team, but respectfully, I think he played a lot better than Tomas Angal in this game, or maybe, if you shift Tomas to out-and-out striker number 9 and then put Maicon on that left-hand side, I think that would be a lot more dynamic for us going forward, because I feel like Maicon has similar characteristics to Chucky, where he's direct and he's kind of creative in that aspect. So I feel like if we can kind of see Maicon in these next couple games kind of really, get a couple more experiences under his belt, then I think he could maybe sneak his way into this starting 11, which I think would be a lot more better and a lot more cohesive for the San Diego team to kind of work with, when you have a personality similar to a Chucky Lozano in that aspect. So, but with the Dreyer offside goal, I mean, it was clearly offside. I don't think there was any questions about that.
Just made his run too early.
Yeah, made his run too early. But, I mean, you see Dreyer, how effective he is in those runs.
He's a workhorse.
Like,
this guy's always running.
Yeah, he's always running. And, he is one of the guys that really is going to be a threat going forward for us in the opposition, to defend against. So I think, we really saw Dreyer in this game really be effective. Of course, the offsides were definitely the thing, but I think it's very promising things to see, with Dreyer, playing this well. And I mean, respectfully, this isn't, our full team. Obviously we have Chucky out, and Chucky alone is going to drag numbers towards him. So it's going to open up space.
Yeah, because right now, if you're looking at it, how to stop San Diego, close down Dreyer.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of man mark system similar to that, which, to be fair to Columbus, after that red card, they took off an attacker, they put on a defender, and they were playing like a 3-2 similar. So it's like they were kind of just, sit in, park the bus, and let's just, get away San Diego with a point. So
I mean, it was a win for them.
Yeah, definitely, a win for them. Definitely, I think 3 points dropped for San Diego, but, they walked out with, I guess you could say, like a lowercase W, I guess you could say. So, the game ended 1-1. San Diego still undefeated, second place in the Western Conference, tied on points with St. Louis and Colorado with 8 points. So I think that's something to kind of look at. And just a little stat for you, San Diego make MLS history with being the second ever expansion team to stay undefeated in their first 4 games. So kind of what was your kind of expectation for San Diego? Because it's like we haven't gotten your kind of take on it. What was your expectation for San Diego in, let's say, the first 4 games? If I were to tell you before the season kicked off, San Diego wouldn't lose a single game in their first 4, considering our opponents, LA Galaxy, RSL, Columbus Crew, and then St. Louis SC, 4 really top class opponents. What'd you kind of think if I told you San Diego FC would have lost a game?
I thought we were going to go into the season losing.
Really?
Like that, yeah.
Okay.
You kind of like have a lower expectation and be like, hey, we lose a couple games in our openers. It's expected.
Sure.
But knowing that we are winning and tying and showing that we will improve and from the start, I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that I think caught us by a lot of surprise, because same thing. If you were to tell me at the beginning of the season we wouldn't lose a game in our first 4, I'd be like, okay, we go to Galaxy away, you go St. Louis at home, which they are the team that were the first expansion team to not lose in their first 4, which they went 5-0 in their first 5 games. So it's like, they didn't lose or tie in a game. So they're a respectable opponent as well. So if you were to tell me we wouldn't lose, I wouldn't believe you, to be honest. So we played really well in these first 4 games, and I think we really impressed not only San Diego but the rest of the league as well. So I think that's something really encouraging going forward in these next couple games, because speaking of our next game, we go Austin FC away, which is a very, very tough game. Very top class opponent for me. They sit in 7th place with 2 wins and 2 losses, but to me, they have a great squad. Obviously, they have Brandon Vasquez. He was a striker that we tried to go for in the winter transfer market, but we got outbid from them, and he went to Austin FC eventually. So you can kind of say this is like the Brandon Vasquez derby, I guess you could say. But what do you think San Diego FC can do differently in this game versus Columbus compared to when we go play Austin away against a tough class opponent?
I think we need to just work on our first half.
Fairs, yeah.
You know what I mean? Second half, I think we can close a game.
Yeah, me and Carlos, we were talking, and we're definitely a second half team.
We are.
Yeah.
Like watching these guys live, San Diego plays great second half football.
Yeah, definitely. They played great second half football, and to your point, how we need to improve on the first half and really, take advantage of these chances. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you can miss chances, here and there, but it's like, who knows, against like an Austin FC, they could be, very lethal, come, that game. And I mean, I'm going to pull up their last game. So in their last game, they played Sporting Kansas City. All their games have ended 1-0. They beat LAFC 1-0. They lost to Colorado 1-0, lost to Portland 1-0, and then they beat Sporting Kansas City 1-0. So I think it's going to be one of those games where it's kind of similar to that, where it's like they're inconsistent, but I think it's going to be one of those where we fail to convert chances. I think that is kind of something that I'm kind of concerned about.
So they don't score a lot, though.
They don't score a lot. So I think that's something that can also go in our favor. And honestly, I'm very confident in our defense. I feel like our defense is very good.
San Diego, we usually score, what, like two or three a game?
Yeah, I mean, we scored 2 versus
like
Galaxy,
average?
3 versus RSL, none versus St. Louis, but then we scored 1 against Columbus. So it's like,
I'd say like a 2.5.
Yeah.
It's our like goal ratio.
Yeah, so but I'm really confident.
Goal.
I'm really confident in our defense. That was something this season where I was really questionable on, to kind of see where our defense was at. I mean, we're Italian, we pride ourselves on good defense, and defense wins you championships at the end of the day. That is like the most like.
But we have a good defense.
We have a good defense, and I don't think we're gonna go with a Bambino or a Willie Kumado in this one, because I think they're more attacking fullbacks.
Now that you mentioned Willie, did not like him in this game.
Okay. You would have liked maybe a Lawful Send in this one, a Jasper. You would have liked a Jasper.
Give me a Jasper with Bambino. That partnership.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Maybe we can have that.
Because my whole thing is, it's like Jasper is a more inverted fullback, and Bambino is like a more like out and out, like wide fullback.
That's why you have one of each.
So I don't know if that could really play into San Diego's like favor, because then I feel like that kind of just off balances. But I don't know. I think that Lawful Send is a good ball playing fullback, which I think could maybe help out the midfield in that sense, and maybe give us a little bit more quality going forward. So I don't know. I think that's going to be something that Mikey Vadas has to figure out. But let's go to score predictions. Away from home, San Diego FC versus Austin FC. What do you think?
I feel like it might just be like a 1-1.
A 1-1, another draw. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I think there was a lot of good things that I saw from San Diego in this game. And, I mean, judging from Austin's last 4, I mean, literally all 1-0s.
Austin is going to almost guarantee 1 goal.
I mean, but it's like when you kind of look at it, they lost to Colorado at home. And Colorado, they're 4th. So they're tied with us on points. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think this can maybe play into our favor. I'm going to say a win. Dare I say a 1-0? You know what? I'm going to say a 1-0. I'm going to say a 1-0.
So you think we'll win?
I think we'll win. I think we'll win. I think it's a 1-0. I think, kind of with how, we've been talking about San Diego not really finishing chances, how, we're kind of, a second half team. I think, the first half, I think we'll kind of feel them out, kind of see how they play, because to be honest, I haven't watched Austin FC, so I'm not really sure how they play. I just know they're a top quality opponent, and I think they're a respectable, team where it's like you go, especially away, where it's like they have a great away crowd. They're a great atmosphere, so that's something I like about Austin FC, is they're a great fan base and they're a great team. So I think going forward, I think when you're kind of looking at the approach to this game, I think maybe you'd be a little bit more conservative, I think, because it's like, I think, again, with Brandon Vasquez, he's, you know, one of their top quality players. So I think that's someone, if you can nullify him and really close him out of this game, then I think you can really, you know, open up the game for San Diego to, you know, take advantage of that. So that's kind of what I think in this game for the game versus Austin FC. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You know, you got anything else to close off?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, it was a pleasure. Yeah. First guest on the channel.
Yeah, that was cool.
So guys, let me know in the comment section below if you think we should kick Carlos out of the SDFC Bros and bring Nino on for the future episodes. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram at SDFC Bros. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.